Most of us do not go into college expecting to experience a major drop in confidence. We expect the best 4 years of our lives. And from the outside looking in, that narrative fits. Women now outpace men in college enrollment. As we achieve and excel at unprecedented rates, our generation appears to be comprised of nothing but brilliant, strong, unbreakable females with the world at our fingertips. But I know from personal experience that too often this is just the story from a distance. From the outside looking in, the story can sometimes have a little bit of a different feel to it. The majority of female undergrads are leaving college with less self-esteem than they came in with, while our male peers tend to leave with more. We're questioning ourselves in academic and leadership roles due to gendered phenomena like imposter syndrome and stereotype threat. An estimated 10 to 20% of us develop eating disorders during our college years. We're experiencing depression at twice the rate of our male peers. And nobody is catching on because all of this is hidden beneath a gilded front of effortless perfection. The act that many of us are putting on is too convincing. Effortless perfection creates an environment wherein we are so set on making it seem like we have everything put together at all points in time that when we do inevitably run into struggle, which we're going to do because it's college and it's life, we look around at our seemingly flawless peers and assume that we are the only ones struggling. We do not realize the extent to which every other member of our community is carefully holding their cards close to their chest, unwilling to show anything beyond a socially accepted front of confident ease. We conclude that there is no other way to deal with our problems but alone if we do not wish to stand out as broken or the one who couldn't keep up. Unfortunately, this self-imposed isolation or sense of being the only one causes the consequences of such struggles to become much more harmful and much more extreme than they might otherwise be. This disparity is incredibly important to understand because the concept of effortless perfection can often get dismissed as a petty, superficial issue based on upholding flawless appearances. It is so much more than that. Effortless perfection for many is nothing short of survival instinct, a necessary form of self-protection, which explains why we feel compelled to chase after it with such fervor. The pursuit is addictive because it distracts us from the things within us that scare us most. Instead of facing our internal doubts, we adopt the effortless perfection myth as our core belief system because it falsely promises to banish pain, fear, and insecurity from our lives altogether. We embrace it, even support it among our peers, without recognizing that this mode of operation entails being pushed by our fears as opposed to pulled by our passions. Our lives become all about what's not happening to us, as opposed to what is. And we are transformed from human beings into human doings. Many of today's college students are chasing after accomplishment as if it were a cure-all, without recognizing they are really just harboring a need for reassurance. We crave good grades, a low weight on the bathroom scale, a high number of likes on social media. In our minds, achieving these things means everything will be okay. Unfortunately, instead of gaining control through this approach, we often relinquish even more power. Each mini confidence boost we receive every time we live up to perfectionist standards leads us to develop self-confidence based upon fleeting conditional moments. The stronger our reliance on these boosts, the greater our reliance on external approval grows, and the more entrapped we become within the toxic culture of effortless perfection. And that's why we need to push back and challenge the dominant narrative of effortless perfection we see on social media and around campus, with alternative, more honest narratives that recognize struggle as normal and healthy. This begins by sharing our stories of failure along with our stories of success. Luckily, a small but growing body of campaigns and organizations has already begun to take up this torch. Half the Story encourages individuals to share part of their lives that exist outside the standard social media by posting more than just a highlight reel of our best moments and instead bringing up taboo issues like belonging and mental health as well. The What I Be Project creates photo campaigns, often on college campuses, that allows individuals to highlight their insecurities while also using their own words to frame those stories the way they want them to be told. Me Too Monologues, established at Duke roughly a decade before the hashtag #MeToo movement, curates a theatrical performance of monologues that students write and submit anonymously about struggles with identity issues like race, gender, sexuality, socioeconomic status, mental health, religion, and ability. The program has spread to multiple other university campuses due to its national expansion campaign. Each of these platforms encourages undergrads to show enough of their own vulnerabilities that others do not feel the need to hide their own. If we want to push back against the effortless perfection myth and the mental health crisis it has helped to create on our college campuses, institutions all across the U.S. need to create and support vital efforts such as these. I challenge you all to find ways to implement such changes on your campus, in your communities, and in yourselves.